I know what you're thinking, but Alex, how is it possible that just yesterday you told us the Tesla got a little cheaper and today you're telling us it got more expensive? I will explain, I promise. Also, Nissan and Renault and also Tesla again are in the news. We're going to talk about it all coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world,
Welcome to those of you who are watching me live on Patreon right now. Thank you so much for supporting the show, helping it to keep going and stay independent. If you're watching me on YouTube, welcome, and of course consider subscribing so you don't miss anything, and plus it's free. And I will be answering your questions and comments on Instagram TV later tonight. But let's get going. As you can see, this is a thumbnail from my yesterday's video. And yes, Tesla Model 3 got cheaper yesterday. The all-wheel drive option price was dropped from $5,000 to $4,000, which is good news because a lot of people right now are configuring their Model 3s because that option is now available, especially in Canada, right? And I don't really know why they did it like only a few weeks after they originally announced it, but it's good news, right? All right, well, but today people have noticed that the an option for the full autopilot, full self-driving package for the autopilot for Tesla, the option that you buy if you decide to upgrade to it later after you already bought the car, that one went up by $1,000. Okay, so let me catch you up. Okay, so you can get an option of autopilot in your Tesla right now, but then there's also an option where you can get the fully self-driving option, and now that option is obviously not available in terms of the software, but you get twice as many cameras, so it's ready for the full self-driving option when the software comes around, which could be many years. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to bet that people who are buying that option right now probably will not be driving that car by the time that option comes out. So the only reason to get it, I'm assuming, is to keep the value, the resale value of your car just a little bit higher. Now, the option that you had was to either buy that for $3,000, and obviously you just buying this the hardware and hoping the software will catch on at some point, or you could pay $4,000 later when you decide to upgrade it at really whenever it's available or whenever you decide to go for it. Now, it went from $4,000 to $5,000. Now, I'm not really sure why, first of all. And secondly, I feel like it's a little bit unfair. And let me know in the comment section if you agree with me that, people decided, okay, well, $3,000, $4,000, I'm willing to gamble with $1,000. But they did, and now it's not $1,000, it's twice as much, and therefore I feel like those people might be just a little bit upset. And just overall, you guys know what I think about, the whole autopilot feature, that, buying it before we even know when it's going to actually come to reality. Tesla just settled a lawsuit from a bunch of owners, so complaining about exactly the same thing, where they believed they were buying something that was going to be there, and then they ended up not getting it by the time their leases were up, and so Tesla settled that lawsuit. And now once again, I just let me know how you feel about it. I'm okay with the price. I mean, they can price whatever this car whatever you want, but I'm not really sure if it's maybe a little unfair to those people who already bought this car and kind of was counting that it's going to be just $1,000 to upgrade. Nevertheless, just got a little bit more expensive, but at the same time, I really don't see that many people going for it. Or, if you buy an $80,000 car, $100,000 car, is it really that much of a difference at some point? So that's that. All right, before we move on to the next story, just want to remind you guys that this channel and this video is sponsored by Evanex, the aftermarket accessories for Tesla. If you're looking to shop there, please go ahead and grab the discount code in the description of this video, so you can save a few bucks. That never hurts, right? Okay, let's move on to the next story. This one's really interesting. So this is a Nissan Selfie, which is now Nissan taking orders for this in China. Now, I'll tell you why I like this car. Well, first of all, I'm not really that big on the name Selfie, right? Just kind of sounds like a cute nickname for an STD, Hey, Becky just got a selfie from her ex-boyfriend. Now she has to be on antibiotics. This doesn't sound right, but I'm sure in maybe China it sounds cute. But that aside, I do have to say that this is like the best electric Nissan that I think is going to be out there. Because now, as much as I like the improved look of the Nissan Leaf, I like this look, which is basically Nissan Sentra, even better. Now, the outer shell is the Nissan Sentra, but the inside, it's a combination of technology from the previous generation Leaf, which is, I believe, the powertrain, and the new generation Leaf, which is the battery. And now they're saying it's about 210-mile range. That's in Chinese government standards, so we're probably talking about still about 150-mile range, which is still pretty good. And it's going to be 25,000 after US dollars after incentives in China, which is kind of very similar to what it is going to be in the United States. But I gotta tell you, I love the combination of technology. As a matter of fact, I hope they do this for the rest of the world because, just like I said, it's a four-door sedan. I do like the way it looks a little bit better. Let me know if you like that as well. Okay, let's move on to Renault. It's twice in 1 week. They are in the news. I just did a report that they opened their second showroom for just all of their electric cars in Germany. I thought that was pretty cool. But they're in the news today because they are announcing their new series, the ZE series of trucks. You can see them right here. Now, the little one doesn't have that good of a mileage. I think it's like 70 miles, but could be good enough for deliveries in small cities, especially in Europe. That one's going to be available at the end of this year. The other two are bigger trucks, and they're going to be available next year. The one in the middle actually has pretty impressive specs. It will go up to 185 miles, and it will have a 300 kilowatt hour battery for that range. So good for Renault actually jumping into this and having yet another choice for businesses to be able to buy an electric truck with a relatively decent range. Once again, these trucks don't have to go a long distance. These are not a semi trucks, so kudos to them. Speaking of trucks, I know yesterday I told you guys that Elon was tweeting about all the new specs that he's unveiling about the pickup truck, the Tesla pickup truck, and I really was kind of, as I was doing my video, the last thing that he tweeted out, that it was going to fit 6 people, but it was probably the most interesting and important spec that he announced after that was the range for the truck. He says it will have 400 to 500 miles for sure, and maybe higher. I'm always kind of fascinated by the fact that he goes like maybe higher. Well, that's again 500 miles, really awesome, Elon. Don't have to go maybe, because then the expectations of investors and Tesla haters, which a lot of people think I am sometimes, they will all come out and try to hold you to your word. So listen, 500 miles, really cool. All of the other options that he was talking about yesterday were also pretty cool. Looking forward to it. A lot of people are excited about it. So that's that. All right. Now, I used to have a section called Comment of the Day. Now I'm answering few comments and questions that I see posted for my videos. And I'm doing that on Instagram TV. So if you have Instagram, which I hope you do, just find me there at E4Electric. And in my video section, you will find it. Yes, we will discuss my pink shirt that I wore yesterday. We'll see if some of you guys liked it, some of them didn't. I'll let you know what I think about this myself. So I will see you there, because I'm going to upload that video right now. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.